What if intelligence doesn't protect you from being wrong? What if being smart actually makes it easier to become trapped inside a false reality? History is full of brilliant people who were completely convinced of things that later turned out to be wrong. Entire organizations, entire governments, entire scientific communities, entire cultures. Not because they lacked intelligence, but because intelligence alone cannot see the system that is shaping what it sees. And once you understand why that happens, you'll start noticing it everywhere, including in yourself. Most people assume that intelligence naturally leads to truth. The smarter you are, the more accurately you should understand reality. But real life doesn't work that way. Smart people often disagree more intensely than anyone else. They can examine the same evidence, look at the same event, hear the same words, and arrive at completely different conclusions. How is that possible? Because intelligence doesn't observe reality directly. Intelligence interprets reality, and interpretation depends on the system through which information passes. The problem isn't necessarily what people know. The problem is the invisible structure shaping how they know it. Imagine two people standing in front of the same landscape. One sees opportunity, the other sees danger. The landscape didn't change. Their internal systems did. Every human being views reality through filters, experiences, beliefs, values, identity, culture, past successes, past failures. These filters determine what becomes visible and what remains invisible. The strange part is that we rarely notice the filters themselves. We only notice the conclusions they produce. As a result, people often believe they are arguing about reality. But they're actually arguing from different realities. Not because one person is stupid, because each person is seeing a different part of a larger system. Here's where intelligence becomes dangerous. The smarter you are, the better you become at explaining your conclusions. You can defend them, justify them, rationalize them, build evidence around them, connect them into coherent narratives. Intelligence becomes a powerful lawyer, but not necessarily a good judge. The goal silently shifts. Instead of understanding reality, people start protecting their interpretation of reality. And once that happens, intelligence can become a tool for reinforcing blind spots, not removing them. The smarter the person, the stronger the defense sometimes becomes. Organizations experience this constantly. A company begins losing relevance. Customers are changing, markets are shifting, new competitors emerge. But leadership continues making decisions based on an outdated picture of reality. Why? Because the system rewards agreement. The system rewards certainty. The system rewards existing assumptions. Over time, information that challenges the dominant narrative stops flowing. People become afraid to speak. Alternative perspectives disappear. Feedback loops weaken. And eventually, the organization becomes blind to reality. Not because nobody is intelligent, because the system itself prevents reality from being seen. The same thing happens in groups, communities, politics, relationships, and even inside our own minds. The most dangerous thing about a false reality is that it often works for a while. It feels coherent, predictable, comfortable, self-reinforcing. Then reality begins generating contradictions, unexpected outcomes, failed predictions, broken assumptions, new information. At first, people ignore these signals, then they explain them away, then they become defensive. Eventually, reality becomes impossible to avoid. And the larger the gap between belief and reality, the more painful the correction becomes. Reality is patient. It does not need to win arguments. It only needs time. So how do you avoid becoming trapped? Not by becoming smarter, not by collecting more information, not by arguing harder. The answer is learning to see the system. Ask yourself, what assumptions am I making? What information am I ignoring? What would someone who disagrees with me see differently? What incentives might be shaping my perspective? What feedback am I rejecting because it feels uncomfortable? The goal is not certainty. The goal is adaptation. The ability to update your understanding when reality provides new information. Because wisdom isn't the absence of error. Wisdom is the ability to detect error before reality forces the lesson upon you. The biggest threat to understanding reality isn't ignorance. It's the illusion that you already understand it. Smart people become trapped in false realities every day. Organizations become trapped. Cultures become trapped. Entire societies become trapped. The question isn't whether blind spots exist. The question is whether you can see them before they shape your decisions. Because the most important system you'll ever learn to understand may be the one shaping how you see reality itself. If you want to explore systems thinking, organizational transformation, collective behavior, and the hidden structures that shape human decisions, subscribe to Paradigm Red. Because where paradigms shift, systems reveal themselves.